I hear a lot of artists say that they feel like they're lacking something because they missed going to art school. So then the question is, do you need to go to art school to be a good painter? Well, that depends on who you are as a person and what you want as a painter. Hey everyone, welcome to Whole Artist Mastery. I'm Marianne Mitchell. You know, it gives me great pleasure at this stage of my long professional art career to help artists like you grow on your artistic journey. So if you like what you see and you're getting something from what I'm offering everyone, you can help the Whole Artist Mastery YouTube channel by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much. So whether you need to go to art school or you can skip art school entirely depends on both inherently who you are as a person and what you want as a painter. So what do I mean by that? Well, there are lots of things to each of those components of who you are as a person and what you want as a painter. But the first and foremost thing in terms of who you are as a person has to do with where you are in life right now. Many of the artists that I work with in mentorship programs are coming to a painting practice later in life. You know, maybe you're one of them where you've had a long, distinguished career in something else, whether it's raising a family or being a CEO of a corporation and everything in between. And you feel this inner clawing need to express yourself visually. So your particular goals may be different than the person who may be watching this video who's at an earlier stage in life and really wants to make a go of it as a professional fine artist painter and make a living doing just that. So those are the two main areas of why one needs art school or why one can skip art school. The other factor that has to do with both of those components is how each of us inherently learn. So what do I mean by that? Well, some people really excel at an academic formal structure of learning where there is a curriculum that's designed in a linear way to get you from point A to point B and so on, so that at the end of your schooling, you have a logically clear understanding of what your skills are and how to apply them. Now, I went to art school and got a Bachelor of Fine Arts and skipped going on to get a Master of Fine Arts, or an MFA, as I've been talking about. And there are lots of different reasons why that is the case. And if you're interested in knowing my story, I invite you to watch video 91, where I tell you all about how I started out and how I got to be where I am. One of the things I learned on that journey is how I inherently learn and think, and realize that I'm much more of an experiential learning. I learned through experience, through having to do things over and over and coming to my own weird conclusions about how things happen that ultimately match a formal art school education, but I've arrived at it in a totally different way. Some of you may understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you had a similar scholastic experience where you found learning in a logically structured curriculum was more challenging for you. So where are we now in terms of you want to have skills? You want to avoid going to art school for your own reasons. How do you acquire those skills? And more importantly, how do you know what your voice is, which then helps you determine how you're going to use the skills that you've learned? Well, there are lots of opportunities, especially now with so many artists giving really terrific online instruction. then I know a lot of you watching this are probably saying to yourself, well, I've learned a lot of these things just by watching YouTube and by watching me. So for that, I thank you very much. But watching lots of different videos from many different artists giving you fabulous information can sometimes be confusing. And how do you put the information together that you're acquiring in a way that allows you to make work that you want to make? And so that's when a lot of people might start to think, well, I really wish I'd gone to art school because that would give me the foundation. Well, you can build your own foundation. And the way to really start that foundation is to know who you are and what your voice is. And a lot of my videos address this particular question. Just a couple that come to mind. Video 86 is, how to find your artistic style. Video 99 is understanding how the meaning in your work informs the making of your work. And then you can go all the way back to video number 1 when I just started out and the sound is not very great and it's very unpolished, like now, which is very polished. But it's a really good description of your personal treasure hunt. Because time and again, I have seen with all of the mentorship artists that I work with and myself, that the clearer we are about what we want to say, who we are, and why, the clearer our particular use of visual language can be, and the clarity of voice and language can help steer you in the direction of, well, I need to learn this now, and I need to learn that, and who's offering this. Like for a lot of people that I'm working with, perspective is something they really need to learn, and I'm less talented at teaching perspective, but there are lots of artists online that can teach you perspective. So the artists who have learned that have come to see that through their own self-exploration. One other way you can learn that I want to share with you is through observation. I've learned so much about line, color, shape, value, and texture just by walking outside, being in nature, but tuning into how the light is creating shadows, how values are being created through the light and shadows. What are the different colors that are making up the many different greens that surround me, or the many different browns, because those colors are created with lots of different colors coming together. And you can, through your powers of keen observation, start to dissect what those what that color is made up of. And it's really an exciting way to learn these things, and because you come through your own observation to an awareness that is authentic to you. There are lots of other things I could ramble on about here, but I would love to hear your comments at this point to see what your thoughts are about how you're acquiring your art education, and whether you feel the need to go to art school or you have resolved the fact that you can skip art school. Love to hear your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.